So BEEHIVE will showcase its intelligent venue management platform, which provides real-time staff, asset, and crowd tracking through low-energy Bluetooth sensors and edge computing. This is very interesting for us in accreditation. Designed to improve operational efficiency and staff coordination, the platform offers GDPR-compliant occupancy insights, heat maps, and performance indicators for stadiums and large venues. BEEHIVE has been deployed across sports cities, stadiums, and public spaces in Spain, Andorra, and the United States, supporting operators with reliable, cost-efficient technology that enhances decision-making and day-to-day venue operations. So, Jose, I'll pass you the floor. Interesting to know what you did in Andorra, because this year also IGNITX was in Andorra for the Games of the Small States of Europe. All right, Jose, all to you.
And just came back from Andorra, by the way. We will speak about that later. Okay, so basically here you have the a brief presentation of the BEEHIVE, which is a project that we have developed for three verticals: the sports vertical, the health vertical, and the transport terminal vertical. We have several deployments now across the world. And basically what we came across when we to our astonishment, we realized 5 years ago when we started developing the technology, is that there were large facilities that they were still run the way we had been running these facilities 50, 60 years ago, basically based on heuristics, number of clients we have, number of tickets we have sold, how the cafeterias are working. I am selling more or less merchant, what is happening, in that sense. Yes, it was recorded, but basically we didn't have eyes in such important facilities. What was going on with all our staff? What was going on with all our critical assets, forklifts, panels, portable fences, etc.? There was not 24/7 eyes on such an enormous investment that we have making in a stadium. No? So basically the purpose of our technology is to stop this analog approach to the management of large facilities and move into a solution in which basically one can see everything 24/7. So our deployments have demonstrated to us that we can increase revenues up to 30%. We are fighting this to increase, and that we can reduce operational expenses for at least 25%. The people that are operators in venues know the problems. They know the pains. Who am I to explain this to them? But basically there's shortage sometimes of stock that you need to give to your clients. There are public safety incidents. There's in some a time to respond to the problem, to the alert that you have in the stadium, that if you allow that to be too long, basically you fall into trouble. A clear example we tried with Real Madrid in the Bernabeu Stadium. There's a toilet, pardon me that I use this example, that is broken. If we appear there in 5 minutes, we are speaking about a $500 problem, resolving the issue, etc. If we come there 15 minutes after, we are speaking about thousands of dollars of problem. There's humidities, there's a flood that goes into other areas of the stadium, etc., etc. The same happens basically with all the different pains that we highlight here, where the time to respond is the most important angle. So basically what you can do with our system, here you have, by the way, the stadium of the Miami Marlins in Miami. This is what you can see on the screen from the NBL league. Basically what you can do with our technology is talk to your team, assign and allocate tasks to your team, see how much time they take in implementing or completing them. You are able to classify, imagine this, not only here, but in a hospital, your alerts and your tasks according to our rack system, red, amber, green. So there's a prioritization of what should be done first, etc. At the same time, we are using the classical sensors to have anonymous visitor counting, so we can see how the crowds move around the gates, how they enter or not enter the restaurants or the merchant shops we are offering, etc. And at the end of the day, obviously, we generate a business intelligence that changes completely, the face of smart venue management. I must say that we are shocked that many people speak about the smart venue management, and what they are referring to is to panels that show publicity and ways to deal with the funds. This is perfect. I mean, this is really a technology we do need, and that is very important. But how come we don't have the digital notebook first? a digital notebook that shows your whole venue. You know where your workers are. You say, okay, I need to get a plumber, I need to get a carpenter, I need to get an electrician, I need a person of security, I need a person from catering to help a VAP that has appeared all of a sudden, whatever. No? Let me go through the presentation a little bit more in detail. So, Jose, where's the magic? Why are you different? A lot of people claim they do location-based services, that they are the best, etc. Basically, we have two very fundamental differences that are being patented at this point. The first fundamental difference is we need a very small density of sensors. So the cost of hardware required for this is minimal. Why? Because the workers are carrying, they're a fifth column, they are a secret army, they are carrying a dormant app on their phone. And even if we have 10, 15, 20 workers that are having this app running, we create enough BEEHIVE, hence the name, to be able to produce adequate accuracy and a latency, listen to us, of 2 to 4 seconds. So if I am walking on a corridor, 2 to 4 seconds after, I can be seen on the screen and my managers can say, Jose, you have to help me with something, or you have to talk to someone. All this is recorded, etc., etc. On the technology side, basically what we have achieved with this innovation is that we need very little computing capacity. We have moved out from all the scientific paradigms that NASA, MIT, the great Chinese universities are using. We haven't followed them. And we have an extremely simple and robust approach, which is we have a few sensors, we have our secret army, which is a few workers, and then we can create immediately, perfect accuracy in location and a very decent latency. You can check scientific literature, 2 to 4 seconds. It's really something good. No, we are not 100-meter athletes here running. No, we just go walking from one area to the other in our stadium. No? So at the end of the day, here you have the benefits. These are all fancy words, but the key word I would highlight to you is the aspect of tokenization. All of a sudden, we know who is who, where is everything, and you can have everything on the screen. Show me all the little balls depicting electricians. Show me all the little balls depicting where my lotto people are selling lottery, to the visitors in the stadium. Show me where I have the closest security person to this incident. Whatever you want is tokenized. Basically, we can track everything with very, very little and with extremely good value for money. You cannot imagine how cheap we are, how low cost you are if you compare to the routers and the cameras that are today deployed in stadiums. We are truly a fraction of the cost, truly a fraction of the cost. We use 4 platforms. These are the interfaces. We have the boring one, is the onboarding platform, where you use a CSV or an Excel and you import your surfaces, your teams, you see all the sensors there, etc., etc. Then you have platform 2, the big brother. This is what the manager sees. You can have one screen or you can have 25. You choose what you want to see and how many surfaces or areas or teams you want to see in front of you. But this is the big brother for the manager for day-to-day operations. I see the tasks that have been accomplished, the ones that are open. Third, there's the BA platform. You finish the match, you're more relaxed. Then you go and you see, okay, what was the average time in this team to resolve an incident? Was this person inside the facility? What has happened last week, last month, last semester, whatever? You can see everything that with calm. Basically, actually, I want to mention that we presented this technology to the market only in this month of June. We are already running with several deployments, but we took a year and a half in something that a esteemed colleague of mine calls beautification. So the hardcore technology was done, but we worked a lot on the interfaces, so they are beautiful, user-friendly, easy to manage, they are very intuitive, etc. And finally, there's, the weapon of the secret army, which is that dormant app, which, by the way, doesn't deplete your phone that you are carrying on your pocket. You are carrying it on your pocket. It doesn't deplete your phone. It can be operating for 4 or 5 days with a normal charge. And a lot of our competitors they're using fantastic technologies. I cannot say anything about them. But the problem is that your phone is depleted after 10 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. So this is also another advantage of our system. Again, when we compared ourselves to the usage of GPS, we did a research project for the European Union that got an award and whatnot. We saved 7,800%, I am not making a mistake in the number, in energy consumption compared to just us using GPS when we are guiding ourselves to a metro station or walking on the street or whatever. The consumption is practically nil, for this location-based service, and this is something we worked a lot. So what are the kind of things we can do? We can track our team. We can track our team when it goes to points of interest. We can track our assets. We can distribute. Look, this is the fourth bullet point in the orange, square. We use this term, in order not to hurt labor unions, etc. We call it solidary staff management. It's not about pointing out, oh, you, Jose, you're working too slow, you are always late, you are never in the place you should be. What we are saying is we have resources and everyone has to work, to a similar level of performance, solidary staff management. We have the alert system I referred to before. We can count visitors per area, check occupancy limits. Why the restaurant in the left aisle sells more than the one in the right? If I have the same workers, the same signposts, what the heck is going on? This is very strange, These are the kind of things that we can resolve, Alerts for entry in unauthorized areas, activation of emergency plans. We just need Wi-Fi because we are using Bluetooth sensors. Imagine you have a little energy battery. You keep 4 routers in the stadiums. We have a horrible blackout, energy blackout. We have a horrible, I pray this never happens, horrible terrorist attack. And still, we would be able to locate all our teams, all our people. We know where the people are, etc., etc. So it's something fantastic. If our secret army has battery in the mobile phone, we can see everything. Okay. So who have been the victims of this technology? Who has suffered, The BEEHIVE, Real Madrid, as I mentioned earlier, the Miami Marlins. In Andorra, now you are familiar with the country, so a very famous ski resort from FIS competition, the Pal Arinsal part in Arinsal, in the Arinsal Valley. Also the natural park that basically occupies 10% of the territory of the country. All these have been pilots, but today we are already formally deployed in La Nucía Sport City in Spain. You might say, what is this? Well, according to the European Union, it's the best sports city in Europe, and it's the training home for hundreds and hundreds of pro athletes that participate in the Olympic Games. I remember in the Tokyo Olympics, there was 11 medals and 20 diplomas coming from these sports cities, one of the best sports cities in Europe. We are currently negotiating a contract with the Miami Marlins, crossing fingers that it works after the pilots we have conducted. And it's a brand new solution. We are going through the patenting exercise right now. There's a video on the website. The costs are around probably $100,000 for a first year for a very big stadium, 60, 70,000 people, licenses of $70,000 for consecutive years. Of course, this depends on the configuration. We are not SIA, a SaaS service, software as a service. This requires checking the architectural configuration, visiting first through videos and then in person the facility. We deploy in a few days, couple of days, 3 days. We can remove the hardware in a few days because our beacons do not need energy. We just paste them on the wall, we can remove them also very easily and so on. And about our company, we are passionate about innovation. The company was created a little bit less than 10 years ago. The bread in the pizza, if you allow me again the colloquial expression, it's a number of international research projects we carry out normally for the European Union, but we didn't want just to be researchers. We wanted to create something for the public, and we wanted to launch our technologies, for let's say in a commercial arena. Maybe I don't know if we have. I think I have 14 minutes already into the presentation. Now you have been very nice people. And I haven't shown you the platform, so I think I should show you the platform. So you can see it on the screen, so you believe I'm not telling a lie or anything. And okay, but how does this look? Does it look horrible? Is this just a prototype or something? I'm going to show this to you on the screen. 1 second, if you allow me. So how do I activate this? Now, is it visible still on the screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Thank you so much. Okay, so basically here you're going through what we call in-house the boring platform, the onboarding platform. In this onboarding platform, you can see we are stocking everything that is happening. This is, let's call it the database, it's the database of the system, and where we export finally all the data that we need to be calculated or processed, into you remember the Big Brother platform, the visualization platform that the manager is using. This is a long video, of course, but here you can create the different teams. It's very easy to create them. We have the platform in several languages because we just translate the stream, and we can have it I think now we have it in French and German, in Spanish, in Catalan, and in English. Those are the languages we have it now, but of course, it can be translated. Here you can see the beacons. We already know the level of battery of the different beacons. So there's no need for stress about the beacons being the battery depleted or whatever. We will receive an alarm. In 1 month or 2, you might have to change the little batteries in the sensor. So this is something that is already done automatically. I will go maybe quickly to the Big Brother platform that I mentioned earlier. You can open as many scripts as you want, checking the tracking, the beacons, the occupancy sensors for the public. You can jump to the BEEHIVE platform if you have a little bit more of time. And basically, you are seeing your facility here with everything happening, the surface. You can see on the right side in the column the tasks that are open, the tasks that are accomplished. It's very, very easy to learn. Actually, we prepared a handbook, with instructions, a kind of instructions manual, but we have discovered that through a half an hour video call, basically any user is comfortable, with the platform. Obviously, we do document what we have for the platform, but we prefer to do it, to have the human contact, through a video call, and we immediately learn together how to use the platform. Let me go very, very quickly. Are these the sensors? Yes, these are the basically the sensors that help us count the visitors, So people that don't belong to our secret army, persons that are just there, happen to be our visitors, our clients. You might say, but how do you notice they are there? Well, we notice through the MAC signals, that the mobile phone is emitting all the time trying to connect to free Wi-Fi. So basically, we are capturing this presence, With some visual inspections, we tend to transform, the number of devices, we observe to persons. Normally, there's a correction factor depending on the type of facility, 103, 0.974, whatever. There's a tiny bit discrepancy between devices and persons. But here, the important thing is the orders of magnitude. Why this gate has more people before the match starts, but the people in this gate always enter after the match start. Why the restaurant, as I mentioned earlier, I repeat the example, why this restaurant, the people don't wait for the timeout, in the middle of the match. They just go there to have their food or their drinks, earlier. Is because there's a very big queue, because there's not a very big queue, etc. The business intelligence platform, again, this is when you have some time, you can, for instance, for sports, if I recall correctly, we are working now with 60 KPIs, but in the annual license that we offer, our mathematicians also go back to the data once or twice or 3 times a year. We can make an agreement to check if there's something magical appearing, like male with the scarves consume more burgers than other clients. There are things that you don't see initially in the KPIs, but that we check all the data, we use artificial intelligence agents, to check, and maybe something strange that we didn't anticipate as a relevant KPI appears. And then for the following license, we add these KPIs. Let's also track this or this or this that is of interest to the surface. Here you have finally what is the weapon, as I call it, maybe with a very bad analogy, of the secret army, is this application that is running dormant. And of course, the workers are receiving an alert, a little vibration saying, Jose, you are wanted here. You have to report to your manager, or you have to help me with an emergency or whatever. So that would be basically the BEEHIVE, what we are doing. And by the way, in the incident system, you can send pictures of the broken window. You can send to your manager a little recorded message saying, listen, what I'm observing here is this and that for you to consider. Here you have 3 pictures or a mini video, so you tell me what to do. So I'm glad to take your questions, or if there's anything that hasn't been clear from the presentation.
Thanks very much, Jose. Actually, I find it very interesting. I have a few questions because we work a lot with venue operations. Number one, I guess your mini army can also be deployed outdoors, right? So for temporary venues as well.
Yes, it wouldn't be a problem. Actually, we have tested it in rock festivals. We have done 1 rock festival and 4 Oktoberfests, this kind of German celebration they have with these beer parties and whatnot. And we have, of course, combined in this sense the utilization of GPS with the utilization of the indoor tracking technology is something that can be done. In that case, we even connected cars. This is not a problem because the way we have conceived the system is very important also to highlight this, is that it's a very open, let me find where I have it. I have it here, integration with third parties through REST API. The venues, they already have softwares. We cannot appear saying we are the base of it, everything has to adapt to us. No, basically we can, for instance, we can track the cleaning teams that are in the venue, and we record the number of hours they have stayed, and we can immediately connect to your invoicing system and say, you have to charge 9.5 hours to your cleaning team.
Okay.
So we are easily, the architecture is completely open, the way we have conceived it. Actually, I want to maybe tell a secret that my director of IT would kill me, but he's not in the room and you might not tell him, but basically, the core of the system for distribution of data is the largest hotel recording system in the whole planet that he developed. So he's running daily millions of bookings every day. And basically, we took part of the code there to create our system. And the system is completely open. The same that to these platforms, millions of hotels connect. Here we can have millions of softwares or stadiums. Imagine you are the owner of 3 sports teams. There's not a problem. Everything can be connected at the same time in the platform, and the platform is resilient for much more data than a stadium. Even if every day we collect, for instance, in the Marlins matches that we were controlling 1 month ago, we were talking about 100,000 points of data per afternoon or per evening. It's a lot. But still, the system is prepared to manage anything, in that sense.